can reserve the Diggy.
Hoot hoot.
Oh, okay.
no, never mind.
Speaking of the devil,
Well done.
Wow.
Well done.
it's the devil's head, bro.
Talk about negative synergy here.
That's right. Yeah. Okay. FIMP. How do you deal with this? What do you think have they prepared?
Personally, I think maybe FIMP might have taken a couple of pointers here. Wow, 103% pick and ban rate.
Wow,
That's a number I wasn't expecting.
Yeah.
But I was considering maybe as their final pick of the first phase, potentially looking at the Claude. It's one of the few heroes that has actually taken a game off of Blacklist International.
That's right. But there's a big straight up chance that Blacklist might pick it up since they're facing Eve and Glue.
Yeah.
That could be a potential. But yeah, what else do you think the Blacklist International will answer this time?
There is a very high chance that they will want to answer high ground to high ground, getting a Fasa into their mix. In the meantime, getting a couple, probably just prioritizing a pick for Owl. You know, someone that can really hold on to the fight a little bit longer.
I mean, we're already getting the Fredrin as well as the Valentina. If we're talking about getting a high ground alt like Eve, might as well just copy it, but still scale even harder.
Okay, there's the Fredrin. This is pretty much a standard Blacklist draft, especially with US special Valentina. Weiss has yet to lose a single Turtle Lord Retribution battle yet.
Really?
Wow.
Wait.
If you can. On the Fredrin.
That's a stat that we weren't aware of.
Well, I don't think it's on the Fredrin. Yeah. I think it's general.
in the team.
I think targeting onto Edward is definitely one of the best ways, but also one of the most difficult ways, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Edward has such a wide hero pool. Right off the bat, I'm looking at Joy and Benedetta. It all makes sense. In the meantime, I'm also looking at Lapu Lapu. I'm also looking at Yuzhong, both of which are such perfect play for Blacklist International to really come up to deal with this Eve.
I mean, they're trying to make sure that they don't exactly have the easiest backline access, right? At least trying to make a decent matchup. Like, they're banning out Benedetta. If they were really worried about reliable backline access, they get rid of the Yuzhong. They just want to slow them down. If it's about Blacklist International, it's about coordinated team play. 5v5s, as a matter of fact. Now, we're seeing that the Lapu Lapu is getting chosen here. I'm curious to see what marksman Owl wants to play. Carry looks good, but there's still an assassin. Brody, wow, really wants to win that lane.
Pretty much comfort, huh?
Yeah. Thing is, this is a skill matchup, though. Brody versus Beatrix isn't, black and white here, especially for the Beatrix right now. The fact that the Brody has kind of been nerfed, not because the Brody's been nerfed, but because some of the items, defensive items, has been buffed, especially with the steel leg plates becoming just the norm now in the gold lane. Brody certainly loses a lot of kill pressure.
I think FIMP, they need someone to set up for the Beatrix.
But is this a setup that you need?
Okay,
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. Okay,
this is
kind
kind
of
of
that.
like whole tactic going on right now.
I saw Gideon.
Bro.
Okay, very well. Abstract, take it away.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we make our way in to the land of dawn, who's the one that will come up early? Is it gonna be the Ube team, or would it be the aggressive Turkey?
Well, let's see how this early game actually goes out. I mean, if Yue ends up dying here, that's probably going to be a very clear victory towards Blacklist International. But knowing how, to FIMP. But generally speaking, the way that we should be looking at this is especially when it comes down to these neutral objectives, right? Hilda is not really going to participate in the majority of these team fights, but is then looking for information, trying to make sure that Blacklist International, especially for the mid laner Yue, to continuously be pulled to a different direction.
I mean, when we are looking at Edward, he is the master of his lane. The least amount of death amongst all the players. And I gotta have to say, Edward, he knows exactly what he's looking out for. In this current lane matchup, he doesn't really want to go to all-out aggressive against the Glue, but really just all about the lane priority and wanting to get back with his entire team.
Yeah, actually. Speaking of which, I mean, I'm getting a lot of flashbacks from that Todak against Echo matchup and Blacklist matchup. And honestly, when I see this Hilda into the Diggy, and especially with Oh My Venus playing on that impure range, you know that the Queen just wants the stack.
Okay, well, right now there's a taunt already. Wise gonna be able to dish some damage out right there, but Endless Shards actually connects onto Edward, who just soaks it in. No damage, just practically tickles him. As both teams just disengage, not wanting to go for a skirmish, but just as I say it, Alien's gonna be engaged on Alien, jumping back with the slam, pass, but Alien's gonna be stunned up in the Brave Spider, the Appraiser's cracked as well. First blood for Edward, Kura terrified up, trying to run away as Apex 47 tries his best to distract, to get him out of there right now, but he's going to chain CC by the Fredrin. The sprint is not ready, and it's going to be Blacklist International with a clean 2-0 start.
Now this is when we talk about lane matchups, especially micro. The fact is that Edward was already level 4, and unfortunately Blue was not in that same position.
To dash out of the way right before the final shot hits it. So honestly, Kira not exactly very good for that fight.
You can already see as well here, Wise trying to go for it. That's a red trick by Kira. This Kira, the overrun manipulation, and endless charge locks Wise down. The mobility fuel is right there, but the time journey locks him, gives him some space to escape. Wise is gonna fall. Kazoo picks up the kill as Alien rotates all around, but he's gonna be killed here by the Bravest Fighter. A Terrify as well, but Alien almost gets out just barely, but Yue.
That Kira is able to scale super fast, because eventually Wise is going to be able to get Radiant Armors, able to get Twilight Armors even. Oh, a quick steal!
FIMP is still sticking over to their MO. With this lineup, they can afford to be playing very aggressively. Despite losing in the, or rather despite only having a 2-kill deficit, they still want to occupy the opponent's base as much as possible. They still want to inhibit the control of Wise as the main frontliner.
Especially the fact that they were able to burn a battle spell, a very important one at that as well. Venus, the way he was able to utilize this Diggy up against Todak was getting in the right places at the right time with the Flicker. Now, Turtle's going to be spawning, and that Flicker is going to be on cooldown.
So the clutch is disabled on this car, but at the end of the day, Oh My Venus just has to position a little bit more dangerously, right? Alien's totally fine. He's come to a point in the game where it's not Whoa!
Kira even doesn't deal enough damage to take Venus down. Time Journey pop, the shielding is enough to get him out of there. As Kira tries his best to start this Turtle. Retribution not available for Wise, but it is for Kira. But it seems like Firefox and PvP do not have that right now. Apex 47 is hunting Venus down. It's going to be locked down, forced to use the sprint. It might just be a free kill over, and it will. The time bomb, the alarm bomb in the bush. This finds the kill back, and it's Blacklist once again with that lead.
I mean, I respect that. You know, Apex 47 wanted to go super aggressive, and we talked about the fact that Apex 47 is not afraid. In fact, the whole entire FIMP seems like they're not afraid.
And the charge, you may need to be afraid as Edward jumps in under the turret. Kira is able to utilize the invisibility. But here, Wise will pick up that Retribution onto the Turtle. Neutral objective so far going all the way to Blacklist International.
Kira's got to be real careful.
Fine line between, you know, respecting the opponents and being aggressive, right? Because FIMP, I don't know where they are threading right now. They would want to squeeze a little bit of hits in. They would want to really overextend themselves, but somehow they're not exactly punished.
Oh, Kira is being punished though. While you say that, Edward and Wise were able to just invade in the jungle. Now Apex 47, he might be a Hilda, but with those stacks in, Owl might just be able to slay him without the torn apart memory. That's a lot of damage from the Brody in the 5th minute of the game. Completely snowballing, 7-1.
Yeah, they knew this rotation was going to happen. They already initiated one of their own to make sure that they are on the top side of the map. But you don't want to see this because it feels like right now, FIMP, whatever they do, they seem to almost be making the blunder, right? But Blacklist are the ones who are increasing the tempo. They are the ones, and especially with Psycho Fredrin, really pushing the pace.
The tempo is really working very well from the side of Blacklist International, right? Most, if not all of their players from their side is levels above of FIMP. There is definitely quite a disparity going on. Despite Edward just holding down to his lane, Alien and Kira still wants to go in for a block proxy in order to go for a little bit of off-tempo.
And the charge as well, Edward just takes it. It does no damage to Edward in the early game all the way now. You can see the defensive items for Edward is really, really paying off.
Yep, it's coming into effect, and that's why you need to make sure. Radiant Armor is honestly a really good buy. Some people even decide to go, depending on what the composition is, but we'll see the items in just a little bit.
And it doesn't seem like it's much of a problem. Blacklist International, they understand that the Turtle is already working towards their favor. They have the priority at that. Then, of course, jumping onto the jungle is what they want to go for.
Bravest Fighter from Edward! All the way to the back, Ethan! Kazoo! It's gonna be taken down, now to top side, that's gonna be Snipe coming down, but Owl's still able to escape the torn apart memory, one more shot! Owl escapes!
Not giving them any opportunity. Apex is gonna get cancelled, and this is just brutal. Sunshine needs to run, but even then, he's stuck.
Oh, Venus there, and that's gonna be Flicker! Venus Flicker is out as well, Sunshine!
Wait!
How did he do that? He finds a double kill. Finally, he's going to be punished by Blacklist International with Owl flickering forward. No, he just dashed in front with that torn apart memory. But man, that's a mistake that we rarely see.
It's fine. They can recover from this. Blacklist is still at a 3.8k lead.
It's an island-wide coverage. We're looking at
Everybody's cooldowns were available. We're basically done for, and they just have to wait it out. Unfortunately, that's when you see Sunshine flickering forward to create that space and forcing at least for Yue to use his own to trade.
The siege gets too much for them though. Blacklist International are completely utilizing this Brody, and Alien is going to be stunned up, and this should be him taken down without the torn apart memory. Utilizing the Brody so well in this game.
It's pretty much all of the first-tier defense towers that has been taken down. Blacklist International will get full control of the river line, and the Lord will be popping out in 50 seconds. FIMP will want to reclaim this.
That's the taunt. Kazooie going to be locked down, doesn't have... Oh, he goes for the flicker anyways, but Edward chases him down with the bravest spider. 5.5k gold lead. When Edward does this much, what are you supposed to do?
I mean, honestly, this is just a massacre, right? Every single time Cura's buffs start literally 10 seconds ahead of FIMP with a lot of the motions that they're making, sometimes earlier than they're supposed to be.
Well, Renner's apathy, why is just being that Psycho Fredrin in the front. Taunting Alien up, that's going to be Edward with the bravest fighter. He's going to be disintegrated. An owl in the back is going to be slain by the assassin Cura, but the endless charge was stolen away by Yue. Now it's giving the real world manipulation. Sunshine going to be able to dish out some damage, but Wise takes him out. Yue is looking for a maniac! Yue! He got it! A maniac! A savage is waiting in the base, but Kazooie, he's got...
Maniacs is all we're getting here at MSC. So close to Savages, but no way to secure that high. Now, as we look at this game, I think FIMP, unfortunately, yes, that was the correct motion. Cura is looking for that backline, looking to one-shot Owl as quickly as possible. But even then, the trades are so efficient, and with how the early game was actually played by Blacklist International, they maintained their lead, even if they were.
There's not going to be a lot of threat. But one thing that FIMP forgot is the fact that there is a 7k deficit.
And the fact that Yue can just steal the endless shards. You want to burst me? Nah, if I'm ahead, I'm bursting your team.
One shot me, one shot you. Doesn't matter who's gonna go down first. This inhibitor's mine.
An eye for an eye for 2 for a 2. FIMP is ready to defend this as much as they can, as Alien is just gonna be getting shot.
Oh, they can't even defend. Edward! He gets a 2-man stun, and Yue follows it up instantly in the back, finding a double kill. RWM comes down to lock Apex 47. Owl, one more shot, but Apex is able to escape. That real world manipulation from Kazooie. That's the only thing that can stop them anyway. He's coming down as he's able to actually immobilize it. But look at the damage coming in from Owl, melting down. Apex 47 like it's nothing. Now it's the endless charge, doing nothing to Wise. He walks back up. Cura's looking for a kill right now. He jumps in, but it's a fade! It's a fade, and it's a time journey to lock him up. 11 minutes is all Blacklist needs. First against Todak, now against Wireflux. Impunity.